Hi everybody. Today I'll be going over how to make a basic HTML website. This is like it's an introduction for everyone who's ever thought like, how do I make a website? How does this work, right? So first things first, you're gonna need Notepad or some other version of like some other editor. And I like Notepad because you can see I set up a folder called HTML Basic. What I did was I created a folder called HTML Basic, and with Notepad I opened a folder as a workspace and I selected this folder HTML Basic. So now I have this empty view. So when starting a website, you normally need to type something in here, right? And when you type something, it goes to a file, and then a file displays the website. So I guess with this page, I can go right click, inspect. Maybe that's not the right way to do it. Maybe it's better to go view page source. So you can see this code is the code for this website that I'm seeing here that says DuckDuckGo, right? So it's a bunch of stuff. It's mostly made up of HTML. What we need to do is get an HTML template. So I'm going to just Google search. And here you go. This is pretty much all you need, template.html. So now let's give this title. Let's say we're making a web page about a library. We'll leave the meta fields in there. Let's just save this. The convention is you will want to name your files as your home page as index.html. So there you have it. You have a file called index.html. Now, if you open up your Explorer, if you double click on this, you will see that a web page loads. You'll notice the URL points to the file you created, and the content goes here, corresponds to this. Content goes here. Can you see me? To make a change, you can add content, save it, refresh, and you see that. Can you see me? So let's talk about this code right here on the left-hand side. You have an HTML tag, which wraps everything. You notice in this code, there's like layers, or I don't want to say envelopes, but there's these tags where there's an HTML tag, a head tag, a body tag. And you notice they have an opening tag for body, which is, that caret body, left caret. And then you see the ending when body is over, you need to close it. This / right here, this is important. This slash means that you're closing the HTML tag, the HTML body tag. Another thing you might want to see is that you see the head tag right here. You'll notice that there's a closing head tag. So for the most part, HTML tags are going to have an opening tag and a closing tag, where the closing tag is going to have the same name, but it's going to have a /. So that's kind of the anatomy. Let's talk about the title. Library. You notice there's an opening title tag and a closing title tag. So you have library. That corresponds to what you see up here on this tab. If I change it, call it the library, save. If I refresh the page, up here where it says library, it's going to say the library. There you go. So from here, this is like your basic page. Everything that you see in your content right here is going to be in between the body tags. So all of your website content should be here with in between body. Head is stuff that is not necessarily, for the most part, it won't be visible, right? Our first page is not visible. HTML tutorial template, it's not visible up here. So don't worry about head. But for body, you'll see that we can make different HTML tags. You can do things like lists, right? So let's talk about the list. You like UL, and we'll go over more in detail, but I just want to show you. I opened up an unordered list. UL stands for unordered list. And I got to close it, right? And then in the middle of it, that's where I put the content for the list. Lists have these things called list items, right? I have an opening list item, so I need to close it. And then in between, I write, this is the first list item, right? If I want to add another list item, I do the li tag for list item. I do a closing tag, and I do, this is the second list item. Now if I refresh my page, you'll see a list. Notice I did unordered list. I can do ordered list, which is OL, which means it's ordered, so it should show up with numbers. And this is a typo right here. So now there's numbers. There's a bunch of cool stuff you can do. You can explore HTML elements, HTML tags. You know, Google is your friend. If you're going to be a programmer, you're going to have to use, or should I say search, because I'm not searching through Google. DuckDuckGo, right? I'm using DuckDuckGo as my search engine. You could use Google as your search engine, or use whichever search engine you would like. But searching the internet is going to be super important as you develop as a programmer. So for example, if I want to know, how do I make a link, right? How do I make a link? All I have to do is HTML for making a link. Oh, okay, what's this? HTML links, hyperlinks. Let's see what we have here. The HTML A tag defines a hyperlink. It has the following syntax. Okay. So there it is. It's A. This is the syntax. So let's try it. Copy, paste. Here we put our URL. Let's say I want to make a link to dogs Wikipedia page. I grab this URL. I put it right here where it says URL. And then link text, I can say read about dogs. You'll notice I have the opening tag A, href, which is just an attribute that's going to define the URL that the link will go to, and then read about dogs, and then the closing HTML tag. So what do we expect to see, right? Let's see what we get. There you have it. There's a link that says read about dogs. If I click on it, it's going to take us to the Wikipedia page. So that's pretty cool. So this is how you start an HTML page. This is a brief introduction. There's more you can do, but I hope that this kind of, helps a lot of people get started. And look out for another video for more advanced HTML and CSS.